Hello, and welcome to Strategic Gender Evaluation in Public Sector Programs. I am Dara, your instructor for this self paced course. Let's start by outlining our objectives for this course. By the end, you should be able to understand the significance of incorporating a gender perspective in public sector evaluations. You'll also be able to explore key gender analysis frameworks and apply practical methods for collecting gender disaggregated data. You will learn how to integrate gender perspectives into the planning phase of evaluations. You will gain insight into reporting through a gender lens. To begin, we'll start with Module 1 Foundations of Gender Sensitive Evaluation. Hello again, and welcome to Foundations of Gender Sensitive Evaluation. In this first segment, we will delve into the concept of a gender lens. What exactly is it? A gender lens is an analytical approach used to understand the different impacts that policies, programs, legislation, and evaluations can have on various genders. It's about considering how different gender groups experience these impacts and ensuring that no group is disadvantaged by public sector actions. So you may be asking, why is this important? In public sector evaluations, applying a gender lens means recognizing and actively addressing gender inequalities. It ensures that policies, programs, even initiatives are fair and inclusive. They take into account the diverse experiences and needs of all genders. This approach is not just about equity, it's about enhancing the effectiveness and relevance of public services. By understanding and integrating gender considerations, we can create more impactful and meaningful outcomes for everyone in the society. As we progress through this module, we'll explore how applying a gender lens can transform public sector evaluations, leading to more equitable and effective policies and programs. This understanding is crucial for anyone involved in program implementation, policy development, and of course, public sector evaluation. Why is a gender sensitive approach so crucial in public sector evaluation? First and foremost, it significantly enhances the effectiveness of the policy or the program. By recognizing and addressing the unique needs of different gender groups, we can tailor solutions more effectively. This approach leads to more efficient use of resources and, of course, better outcomes for everyone. A second reason is gender sensitive evaluation promotes inclusivity and equity. It's a tool to combat systemic biases that have historically marginalized certain groups. By ensuring fair representation and participation, we create policies and programs that truly reflect the diversity of the population. Lastly, and certainly not least, this approach helps us to reflect on the diverse realities of our society. Different genders experience life in varied ways, and a one size fits all approach to policy or evaluation can overlook these differences. Gender sensitive evaluation acknowledges these varied experiences and challenges, providing a more comprehensive and accurate picture of the impacts of policies and programs for all members of society. This graph illustrates how programs implemented using gender sensitive approaches saw improved outcomes. In this image, we see a representation of different groups, all of whom benefit from a more inclusive and effective policy. A gender sensitive approach in public sector evaluation isn't just about fairness, it's about making our policies and programs more inclusive and representative of the diverse population that we may serve. As we delve deeper into our module, let's explore some key gender analysis frameworks that play a pivotal role in gender sensitive evaluation. These frameworks are essential tools for dissecting and understanding the various gender implications of policies and programs. First, we have the Harvard Analytic Framework, also known as the Gender Roles Framework. This framework focuses on understanding gender roles and the allocation of resources within these roles. It helps us identify who does what, who has what, and who decides in any given context, thereby highlighting gender based divisions of labor and resources. The next framework we look at is the Gender Analysis Matrix. This one provides a practical approach for evaluating the impact of development projects on different gender groups. It looks at factors like labor, time, resources, and benefits, allowing evaluators to assess how a project affects men and women differently. Lastly, Longway's Women's Empowerment Framework. This framework goes beyond just analyzing gender roles and looks at the progression of women's empowerment through welfare, access, conscientization, participation, and control. It is instrumental in evaluating how interventions empower women or contribute to gender equality. In the following slides, we'll delve deeper into each of these frameworks, understanding their specific methodologies and how they guide our evaluation process towards a more gender inclusive approach. Let's start with the Harvard Analytic Framework. This framework is particularly effective in breaking down gender roles, as we stated in the slide before, and also the allocation of resources. It prompts us to ask critical questions. Who does what? This relates to gender specific activities and responsibilities. Who has what? This addresses the distribution of resources like income, education, and property. And the third question, who decides? This is about decision making power within households and communities. By answering these questions, we can uncover underlying gender based divisions and inequalities, providing a foundation for more equitable development or evaluation. This can be further explored in the resources found in this module. Moving on to the Gender Analysis Matrix. This tool is immensely practical for assessing how different genders are affected by the development project. It looks at four key aspects: labor, time, resources, and benefits. How does a project change the labor input required from men and women? Does it affect how time is spent? What about access to resources and the distribution of benefits? This matrix helps us discern the differential impacts and outcomes on various gender groups, ensuring that development projects are equitable and effective for everyone. There is a resource attached to this module that can delve deeper and give you some more insight on how to use the gender analysis matrix. We've also provided a template for you. Lastly, we'll examine Longway's Women's Empowerment Framework. This comprehensive framework evaluates the progression of women's empowerment across five levels: welfare, access, conscientization, participation, and control. It's a powerful tool for understanding not just the status of women, but also the process of empowerment. By assessing interventions at these different levels, we can gauge how well they enhance women's power, decision making capacity, and overall status in society. This framework is crucial for ensuring that our policies and programs genuinely contribute to gender equality and women's empowerment. Feel free to download the resource attached to the module. So let's bring our theoretical understanding into the realm of practical application. Let's examine some real world case studies where gender analysis frameworks have been effectively utilized. So let's look firstly at the Harvard Analytical Framework. This was applied in a health program in rural Kenya. The focus was on maternal health services. The framework helped uncover a critical gap. Women had significantly less access to healthcare resources compared to men. This insight led to the introduction of mobile health clinics, which significantly improved healthcare access for women in remote areas. Next, let's look at the gender analysis matrix, which was employed in an agricultural development project in Bangladesh. This project initially aimed to increase crop diversity but failed to consider the increased labor burden on women. The application of this framework revealed that women's labor in these projects increased significantly without a corresponding increase in benefits or decision making power. As a result, the project was redesigned to ensure more equitable distribution of labor and benefits between women and men. We look at the third framework, the Longways Women's Empowerment Framework. This was pivotal in an education initiative in Brazil. The initiative focused on increasing secondary education enrollment among girls. By applying the framework, the program not only achieved its goal of increased enrollment, but also sparked greater community awareness about gender equality. Over time, this led to more women assuming leadership roles within the community, demonstrating a significant shift towards gender empowerment. Each of these case studies illustrates not only the practical application of these frameworks, but also highlights the real world impact they can have. By understanding and addressing gender dynamics, these programs were able to create more equitable and effective outcomes, showcasing the power of gender sensitive evaluation in action. Thank you for following along so far. This is an opportunity for you to take a break and digest all the content you've consumed. In the next slide, we'll embark on the next section of this module, collecting gender disaggregated data. As we progress in our exploration of gender sensitive evaluation, a critical component emerges: the collection of gender disaggregated data. What does this mean, and why is it so important? Gender disaggregated data refers to information that is collected and presented separately for different gender groups. This type of data is invaluable as it allows us to see varying impacts, access, and outcomes that programs have on different genders. It's a key step in identifying and addressing gender based inequalities, thereby informing more inclusive and effective evaluation and policy making. So, how do we collect this type of data? There are several methods, each with its unique strengths. First, we have surveys. These are structured questionnaires that can be designed to elicit gender specific information. They're incredibly useful for gathering quantitative data on a wide range of issues from healthcare access to employment patterns. Next, we have interviews. This method involves in depth, qualitative discussions with individuals. Interviews allow us to dive deeper into personal experiences and perceptions, providing rich, detailed insights that surveys might miss. Lastly, focus groups. They are another powerful tool. They involve group discussions, usually comprising diverse participants. Focus groups can unearth a plethora of perspectives and attitudes regarding gender specific challenges and experiences. By utilizing these methods, we can capture nuanced, gender specific insights that might be overlooked in standard data collection processes. This is not just about accumulating data, it's about understanding the lived experiences of different gender groups, which is essential for creating policies and programs that are truly responsive to the needs of all. Now it's time for practical exercise. The hope is that this hands on experience will solidify your understanding and prepare you for the practical application in the field. Now that you have a solid understanding of gender sensitive evaluation and data collection methods, let's put this knowledge into practice with a hands on activity. This will be a simulation exercise where you will engage in collecting gender disaggregated data. Imagine you're a part of a team evaluating a community health program in a rural area. Your task is to uncover the gender specific health needs and access issues within this community. You can do one out of three of these options, or all three, if time permits. I will just explain one to you. You can develop a survey. Create a survey that includes 4 questions designed to reveal gender specific health needs and challenges. Think about questions that would help you understand if there are differences in health issues faced by different genders, their access to healthcare services, and their satisfaction with those services. Your outcomes from this activity should include a list of key gender specific health needs identified, insights into barriers to healthcare access for different genders, and concrete recommendations on how the health program can be improved to be more gender inclusive. The intent here is that you gain hands on experience in collecting and analyzing gender disaggregated data, a crucial skill in gender sensitive evaluation. It would also help you understand the practical challenges and nuances involved in this process. In the next slide, we will look at some of the responses that can come out of this activity. Reflecting on the ideal outcomes of this hands on activity, let's consider the types of questions that would lead to these insightful findings. If you took the opportunity to do this survey, some of your questions could include: how often do you access healthcare services? The aim of this question is to gather qualitative data on healthcare usage patterns. Another question might be: do you feel your gender affects your access to healthcare? Please explain. This open ended question allows respondents to provide qualitative insights into how gender may play a role in their healthcare experiences. For those of you that may have done an interview or guided interview questions, you may have asked: can you share any personal experiences that highlight specific needs that you faced when accessing healthcare services? This question is designed to elicit detailed personal stories and experiences. Maybe another valuable question could be: what changes do you think are necessary in the healthcare system to better serve different gender groups? Using this question encourages interviewees to think critically about improvements and solutions. It also allows for co creation of solutions and recommendations. In the focus group discussions, if you did that option, you could facilitate a conversation on: discuss any perceived gender biases in the healthcare services in your community. This can lead to rich dialogue about community specific issues. Another discussion point could be: What are your suggestions for gender specific health programs or outreach initiatives? This invites participants to propose ideas and solutions, fostering a sense of community involvement and collective problem solving. These questions and discussion points are designed to uncover deep insights and foster thorough understanding of the gender dynamics at play in healthcare access. They are critical in guiding you towards actionable insights that can inform policy making, program design. It can also ensure equitable and effective healthcare services for all community members. As we wrap up this module, let's quickly recap what we've covered. We started by exploring the importance of applying a gender lens in public sector evaluation, understanding how this perspective is vital for creating equitable and effective policies. We then delved into the key gender analysis frameworks. We looked at the Harvard Analytic Framework, the Gender Analysis Matrix, and the Longway's Women's Empowerment Framework, each providing a unique approach to understanding gender dynamics. We also discussed effective techniques for collecting gender disaggregated data, emphasizing the need for detailed and nuanced information to inform our gender sensitive evaluations. This data is crucial for identifying disparities and crafting solutions that address the specific needs of different gender groups. In the next module, we will continue our journey into the planning process using a gender lens. I encourage you to stay engaged as we delve deeper into this critical topic. Feel free to take a break now and revisit any section you would like to explore further. You can also download the resources or look at other resources found in our module. I look forward to our continued exploration in Module 2, where we will build upon these foundational concepts and apply them in more practical scenarios. Happy learning and see you in the next module. Thank you.